Yo, what is good with y'all? It's your boy KAG, and today we're going to be talking about the Nintendo NX and what exactly is going on between this big huge feud of AMD and NVIDIA. Some people are saying that AMD is going to be running it and is going to be running a Polaris GPU, and then we have others that are saying NVIDIA is going to be running this device and it's going to be Tegra based, right? So we have this big huge feud going on, and today I'm going to definitively say who is going to be actually running the Nintendo NX. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and let's hop into this video. So as we can see here, there's a big huge feud going on between both sides. Nobody really knows. There's conflict of information. We have a lot of people from Eurogamer to IGN, you know, all of these different people saying the video is going to be running it. But then you have another group of people that are saying that it's going to be powered by AMD, as well as even Yahoo Finance are saying that they're going to be running by AMD. But let me explain what is really going on here, because you might find it quite interesting. Now, let's go ahead and let's look at an old statement by Mr. Iwata himself. He says, last year Nintendo reorganized its R&D divisions and integrated the handheld device and home console development teams into one division under Mr. Takeda. Previously, our handheld video game devices and video game consoles had to be developed separately, as the technological requirements of each system, whether it was battery powered or connected to a power supply, differed greatly, leading to completely different architectures and hence divergent methods of software development. However, because of vast technological advances, it became possible to achieve a fair degree of architectural integration. We discussed this point and we ultimately concluded that it was the right time to integrate the two teams. Now, with that being said, this one statement right here tells you everything about the Nintendo NX. Believe it or not, it's one small paragraph. Right? We know that Nintendo has went ahead and they've integrated their teams, their handheld device teams and their home console teams, and now they are all working under one roof, under one entity, right? Now, notice what he says here. Vast technological advances. Now, if we were to go ahead and we say, if it was battery powered, right, which supposedly this device is, according to Eurogamer, it's battery powered, that would mean that it couldn't really be AMD. Why it couldn't be AMD? Because, well, the Polaris is a little power hungry, you know. It would actually, the battery life wouldn't last very long inside of this handheld device. However, if it was plugged up to a power supply, yes, that could work. That's provided, you know, Eurogamer was lying to all of us, right? But I don't think they are lying to us, so I think we do have a battery-powered device here, which, you know, that kind of gives a point to NVIDIA, right? However, what I want y'all to focus on right here is this, you know, the integration. However, because of vast technological advances, it became possible to achieve a fair degree of architectural integration. Let me repeat that. Architectural integration. Architectural integration. What does that mean? Well, that means it wouldn't technically be running on just handheld architecture. It wouldn't just be running on console architecture. It'd be running on a architectural integration. It'd be running on a hybrid of both. So what does that kind of mean? Well, it kind of means that this device is a hybrid because of the architectural integration, right? Now, but the main point of this actual statement right here, architectural integration, has to do more with the actual hardware and software and all of that good stuff. Now, what is really going on here is it wouldn't really be just handheld architecture, it wouldn't just be console architecture, it would be a mesh of both of them, right? So it would be kind of a handheld, it would be kind of a console, which kind of leads towards what Eurogamer is stating right here in this statement, with this, being a hybrid. So they say Nintendo's upcoming NX will be a portable handheld console with detachable controllers, a number of sources have confirmed to Eurogamer. On the move, NX will function as a high-powered handheld console with its own display. So far so normal, but here's the twist. We've heard the screen is bookended by 2 controller sections on either side, which can be attached or detached as required. Then, when you get home, the system can connect to your TV for gaming on the big screen. A base unit or dock station is used to connect the brain of the NX within the controller to display on your TV. Now, interesting stuff here. Now let me explain why it's so interesting. Well, the interesting part is because Nintendo could technically went ahead and took this device right here, and they could have just ran an HDMI cord from here to your TV, and they could have played the games like that. Now that would have been a pretty long cord, first of all, but that would have been not very user friendly. However, if Nintendo was to have went with an HDMI dongle, that would make a lot more sense. That would mean that all you would have to do is just plug your HDMI dongle into the back of the TV, and then you'd be able to play your games on your television via the HDMI dongle. Because as y'all all know, Nintendo has the tech there. They could have just reversed the actual Wii U engineering, and they could have just done it that way. So it would have just used the TV as the second screen rather than this as the second screen, right? They could have done that, but they didn't do that. What they decided to do is they went with a dock station or a base unit. Now a lot of people would say, well, that's probably because they want to save power on this device right here. But no, it's not because they're trying to save power on this device right here, because if that was the case, then they could just have a cord just like the Wii U gamepad has, right? And then you would be able to play your games to your HDMI cord for a few hours on this screen right here. And if you needed to, just plug in the power cord to this device and you'd still be able to continue playing your games. But they didn't go with an HDMI dongle. They went with a base unit or a dock station. Now, why did they go with a dock station or base unit? Because it is actually a supplemental computing device. Now, remember when I said architectural integration and vast technological advances? Well, that has to do with the way it's actually built. So, while you're on the go, or as they say, on the move, Nintendo NX will function as a high-powered handheld console, which would be powered by NVIDIA's Tegra processor. And so it could be an X1 or it could be the X2. We don't really know, but it could be either one of them. So while you're on the go and you're playing your games, you'll have very high-quality graphics because the X1 is no less than probably a Wii U. So if it had Wii U graphics on this small screen right here, that'll be pretty amazing, right? But then you run into an issue. When you go connect it to your TV, right? And you go upscale it, it'll look like crap. And nobody wants a console game that looks like crap on their TV. They want it to look good and crystal clear and HD. But also, we notice that a lot of developers are saying, hey, we're interested in this console. We're a believer in this console. This is an interesting console. We might be supporting this console. We might be actually bringing some ports over to this console, right? Now, let me explain why. The reason why is because of this base station, this base unit or this dock station. This is actually a supplemental computing device. And what does it have in it? Well, it has the Polaris just nestled inside of that dock station. So what actually happens is, like they said, this part right here, the brain, which has all the information needed in order to run a video game inside of it, gets docked into this base unit. Then the actual heavy lifting actually gets picked up by this GPU inside of here, the Polaris GPU. So instead of NVIDIA's Tegra actually being the one that's actually running the games on your TV, the Polaris GPU is actually going to be taken in place of this unit. So for example, if you look at the X-Connect technology that is by AMD, they actually use a technology where you can actually just plug and play pretty much an actual GPU. So for example, if you have a laptop and you need it to be able to play a console quality game on it, or just a high quality game on your laptop, but your GPU inside your laptop isn't quite strong enough to actually play games that well, you'd just be able to connect this external GPU outside of here that would connect to it, and you'd be able to play those games with much higher quality graphics. So what is really going on is this base station, like I said, or should I say this brain of this device, the NX, which is the actual console. This is the console. It's actually powered by NVIDIA Tegra, so when you're on the go, you're going to get amazing graphics on it, because like I said, it's going to be probably no less than the power of the Wii U, so it's going to look really, really good on a handheld device. Now, when you get home and you dock this in here, so I imagine there'll probably be some type of metal processing or something like that down here at the bottom, some type of tech down there, and then when you dock it into this base unit, it's going to be providing power to this first of all, but then what it's actually going to do is the GPU of the Polaris is actually going to pick up where the NVIDIA Tegra left off, or it could actually be a hybrid of both of them running alongside each other. So the Polaris GPU could be running alongside with the Tegra, and they're both running at the same time. Now what does this mean? Well, this means that this is going to be one beast of a console. Now, I mean, it's gonna be pretty amazing. You know why? Well, that means that when you're on the go, you're getting console quality gameplay on this device. But when you take it home and you dock it, you know, that same graphics is actually going to get upscaled, and it's going to be even better, and it's actually going to render even better because of this actual GPU here. So this GPU, which is the Polaris GPU, is sitting inside of this dock station, which is constantly plugged in. Remember how I said that Polaris can't technically go in here because it's too power hungry. And so because it is nestled inside of the base unit, this actual console right here, the brain of the device, when it's docked in here, the actual Polaris can pick up all of the information, all the heavy lifting of this device, and be able to play the games at a higher quality on your TV, because the NVIDIA Tegra doesn't no longer have to upscale to the television, because the Polaris is going to be running that portion. So for example, all your tech, all the tech that you know is required to actually run your console games and everything inside of this device, it's all going to be running alongside, and then, you know, pretty much the Polaris just picks up when you dock it, and it's just going to display it on the TV in nice crisp quality HD. And like I said, this is going to be a huge, technologically advanced piece of hardware, because number one, you're going to have a very extremely powerful system here, especially with it having the Polaris inside of the base unit, and then to be able to take it on the go and have a Tegra in it and still achieve Wii U quality or higher graphics on a handheld device. Amazing stuff. And speaking of amazing, the actual tech that goes behind these controllers, with it actually using infrared technology to actually just beam the actual in-control inputs. Amazing stuff. Y'all should actually take a look at that patent. It's very interesting. But yeah, so this Sheikah Slate, you know, thing that I've been discussing all along is becoming even more of a beast. Remember how I said there's gonna be a technologically advanced piece of hardware that you can take on the go? Well, that tends to be lining up. So you're gonna have this device right here, you're gonna be playing on the go, everything's gonna be great. Yeah, play, you know, HD high quality graphics on here, and then I take it home, I dock it into the docking station, and then I'm playing on the TV, crisp HD quality, capable of PlayStation 4 if not higher quality graphics on there, and then you have what is essentially a monster. Now, for those of you who are already saying in your head, well, isn't that gonna be extremely expensive? You know? Come on, KAG. Let's be real here. That's gonna be expensive to manufacture. That's gonna be one expensive console. But not really. And let me explain why. Now, if this is running an X1 inside of it, number one, that's already gonna be cheap. To put an X1 inside of this device is actually going to be relatively cheap to put in there. And also on top of that, the actual Polaris is actually relatively cheap, to be real with you. Honestly, it's actually relatively cheap. But you have to remember, this base unit, this right here, this dock station, it is not a console. The only thing that's inside of here is the actual GPU. That's the only thing that's inside of here. You may have a little bit of tech that actually transfers the information from this device right here, which has all the tech inside of it, to this device. But outside of that, this is the actual only device that really has any tech inside of it. This just has the GPU inside of it. So when you dock in it, you know, it's just a second GPU that balances the whole thing out. And because they actually eliminated some cost here with the actual controllers and the tech on the sides over here with the controllers, you know, you're gonna gain from that alone right there. So yeah, you're looking at a very capable console right here, a very capable handheld right here, a very capable hybrid. And that explains why everybody is having all this mixed communication on whether or not it's actually going to be powered by AMD or whether or not it's going to be powered by NVIDIA. And that is because it is actually run by both. So yeah, hopefully I was able to just end the huge feud that is currently going on. I hope y'all enjoyed this video because, you know, it takes a brain like this to come up with information like this to give to y'all. That way, you know, we can all settle all this and we can have peace among the Nintendo fans once again, because we're all going to be getting a great, you know, a great console slash handheld, or should we say hybrid device. So for those of you who want to play on the go, now you'll be able to play on the go. For those of you who want to play at home, you'll be able to play at home, and there's no sacrifice on either end. You're going to have a fully capable console at home. You're gonna have a fully capable handheld on the go. And speaking of, I was just about to end this video, but speaking back to the information like I was saying yesterday about there being a hub, and this hub actually being able to transfer information to this unit right here. If we actually take a look at what this actually does, this supplemental computing device, it actually states that what it could actually be doing is it can actually add like more weather effects. So for example, if you're connected to this, like right here, providing for weather effects in games or artificial intelligence, so via wireless, you know, communication between them, the game could be enhanced while you're on the go if you're connected to the internet. So for example, you could be playing Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and it would look amazing. Don't get me wrong, it'll look extremely amazing on this handheld device while you're on the go. But if for some strange reason you're able to connect to some Wi-Fi wherever you're at while you're gaming on the go, your actual Polaris GPU, which is sitting at home, you know, nestled up next to your TV somewhere, is actually going to start sending information to your handheld device because it sees it there. It's going to say, okay, let's add in some lightning, let's add in some more raindrops, you know. It's going to do something like that to that extent, and it's going to actually upscale the quality of the actual handheld unit. So you're going to have like cross communication between this. But the NX is extremely technologically advanced. This is probably the most advanced console slash handheld device that has ever existed. So for those of y'all who are worried about the Nintendo NX, I wouldn't be worried at all. I think it's going to sell like hotcakes. I think it's gonna be extremely hard to get a hold of. So if I was you, I would pre-order this as soon as it became available to be pre-ordered. But anyways, like I said, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button, and as always, don't forget to subscribe if you're a Nintendo fan, because I talk about all things Nintendo here. And yes, I know some of y'all hate the rumors and all that stuff, but you know, I feel it is important to cover all aspects of gaming related to the Nintendo NX. And I hope y'all enjoy these videos, even though some of them, you know, you may say, oh, there's no actual basis of information regarding any of what you're saying. But yes, I actually do put a lot of thought into what I actually put into these videos. And I hope y'all really enjoy it. And don't forget to subscribe. And if you are on a mobile device or at a home console or a house, computer, laptop, whatever, be sure to hit that notification button. That way you get notified every time I upload a video. I'm having a brain fart here. I'm out of here, y'all. Peace.